Dr. Nario. Dr. Nario is with Biointegrative Health Center. Thanks for being with us, Doctor.
Hi, Steve. Thank you for having me again. Always a pleasure.
Let's talk about cholesterol. Cholesterol, is it really important to get these tests? What are the blood tests that can be done? I mean, there's so many different opinions about this now. It matters, it doesn't matter. But what's the best way to first identify or test the cholesterol through the blood?
Well, Steve, that's a good question because we all have this old school thought of cholesterol, seeing the old panel like the total cholesterol, which is called the lipid profile, and then LDL, HDL, then the ratios, right? This is what we hear in our primary care doctor offices in relation to what they test for. But now there's a new one. It's called NMR lipoprofile, meaning it's a nuclear medicine based type of profile. And what happens here is it assesses the different sizes of your cholesterol molecules. The thing here is that all LDLs are not bad because that's what we think about LDLs, right? All HDLs or good cholesterol are not good. So this is why this test was done, because now with this test they will now classify the different types of bad and good cholesterol you have. So, for example, LDLs can be, or bad cholesterol can be sized into small, medium, and large. The only one that we need really to find out is the bad cholesterol that is small, for the reason that they can crawl into little crevices of your blood vessels to form plaques. The medium, the larger ones, they can't do any harm. That's why not all LDLs or bad cholesterol are all bad, and vice versa. Same for the good cholesterol. So not all good cholesterols are good. There are also what we call dysfunctional. And when dysfunctional good cholesterol is out there, it means it's smaller in size. We want our good cholesterols bigger in size because it acts like a Velcro to attach all of these bad cholesterols on it, and then it will carry it towards the liver to get disposed of. So it's almost like garbage trucks that collects garbage on Tuesdays, right? And the bigger they are, the more they collect. That's why this is the better test now that you should ask your doctor for.
Yeah, can you say the name of that test one more time?
It's NMR lipoprofile.
Okay, there you go, everybody. Ask your primary care, if they're ordering cholesterol tests for that one. So,
It's nuclear magnetic resonance
so
lipoprofile.
what is there any natural supplements, herbs, or anything like that we can take to help improve our cholesterol?
Yes, Steve. So there are actually three, and these are my favorites. So number one on my list would be omegas. So clinical studies had shown significant reductions in triglycerides and also bad cholesterol, and also improves high cholesterol. And that's why this is the one that actually hits all three, and thus lowering cardiovascular disease and complications. And the evidence here is when you eat fatty fish, you already get 30% reduction in mortality. And fish oil derived fatty acid also now helps with lowering down heart conditions. There's no, again, correlate. There's EPA and DHA. I don't know if people are very aware of those labels, but the one that really brings something to the table for cardiovascular protection is the DHA part. Unfortunately, the EPA is still under study. However, a high mercury content in fish could actually lower down these protective effects. That's why get your fish, if you're going to eat fish by itself or the fish oil, from good sources. And also by the dose of 5 milligrams or 5 grams a day, it actually has effects also in blood sugar. The second one that I really like is vitamin B3 or niacin. This is actually has a dose related effect in terms of lowering down cholesterol, around 1 to 4 grams per day. But this actually should be increased in a very slow fashion, starting at 100 milligrams per day, and should be administered during mealtime. The problem here is usually the flushing, and it's reduced by giving a daily dose of 81 milligrams of aspirin at least 12 hours in advance. Or you can also take the supplement named quercetin, 500 to 1,000 milligrams per day, also 12 hours in advance before the niacin. And no alcohol intake when you're taking niacin. This can aggravate the flushing effect. And also, the lower doses you have, the less of the flushing you will get. And lastly, my favorite again is red yeast rice. It's a fermented product of rice that contains what we call monocolins, and it inhibits cholesterol synthesis or formation like a cholesterol drug. And at 2,400 milligrams per day, it has done those effects. And what I would really suggest is get a very good quality of this for the reason that majority of unadulterated red yeast rice has what we call mycotoxins called citrulline, and this can actually potentially damage your kidneys. And no adverse effects when given long term to patients. And same as a statin, it can lower your CoQ10. That's why when you take it, take CoQ10 along with that. And also, if a patient actually has muscle aches when they use a cholesterol medicine, this is a good alternative for that.
Wow, that is very good information. And I did another interview on niacin with Dr. Rodney. That one was quite a few months ago, but that was, if you guys can go check that one out too, because he talks about niacin and cholesterol and so on. Okay, so last question. I know that you do IV treatments at the clinic. Is there any IV treatments? I know there is, but what are they and what would you say about them for improving your cholesterol? What would they be?
The one on top of my list, Steve, is the name or the label called Plaquex. So this is an IV that we give, and it's basically an enhanced version of phosphatidylcholine. Why does it help? Because it activates the enzyme LCAT. LCAT meaning it's an enzyme that we have in our body that softens up cholesterol, including the deposits inside the blood vessels that are now forming plaques. Thus, when these are softer, now your good cholesterol, or HDL, can now move in there and actually remove it from the vascular wall and eliminate it through the liver. Again, giving you the analogy of garbage trucks that are bigger and can actually deliver it and dump it towards the liver to get it out of the system. And also other players such as EDTA that removes calcium in the blood vessels to make it more expandable. And also my favorite, the ozone UVBI. Actually, it stimulates better circulation and elimination of these fat particles out of the system.
Yeah, those are great treatments. I do Plaquex every couple of weeks. If you guys have questions about these treatments, just leave them in the comment section, or you can reach out to Biointegrative Health Center. You can get them online, and if you have more questions about this. So thanks for being with us, Doctor.
Well, thank you, Steve, for having me again. As you all know, knowledge is power, and thank you for letting me provide you the edge on longevity and health maintenance, which I call the biological edge or the bio edge.